Tennessee, a landowner owes a duty of general reasonable care to anybody that enters their land, whether it's a store owner or somebody that just owns a piece of land. There's a misconception out in the public that if you're hurt on somebody's property, they're automatically responsible for that injury, and that's just not true. That's a misconception. So it's sort of a duty of reasonable care. Just like a way to think about it would be a driver in a car. We have a duty not to rear end that guy in front of us. That's a duty of care. Premises owners have a duty of reasonable care, and there's sort of a test that goes into that, and it's a balancing. If it's something they can correct or remedy very easily, that's one side of it, and then how serious might the harm be if it's not corrected is the other side of that test. A slip and fall is a very specific type of premises case, and people, I think the insurance industry for one has sort of made the public think that all of these are called slip and fall cases because there's a connotation that people are at fault for their own injuries. And so you think of the example of someone going into the grocery store and there's water on the floor and they slip and fall and bang their head and maybe suffer serious injuries. There's a lot that goes into that. How long had the water been there? How did it get there? Did the store know about it? These are all the factors that would go into it, but that's a very specific type of case, whereas a premises case could be, literally a dangerous hole in the ground or something, to do with a roof on a house. It can be a number of different cases besides a slip and fall. The law in Tennessee is comparative fault. It's called modified comparative fault. If I, Brent Burks, go into a store and I fall and a jury determines I'm 50% at fault and they're 50% at fault, I don't recover. If the store is 80% at fault because they primarily created a dangerous situation, but maybe I had a little bit of fault because I was in a hurry, not being really careful, then I would recover 80% of my damages. And that's how that works, but they would basically look at the factors. Number one of the real important things is, did the store owner or landowner create the situation? And if they did not create it, was it there long enough that they knew about it or should have known about it and remedied it? And those are commonsensical things. If you as a landowner know about a dangerous situation, you just can't leave it there and let it exist on your property. In almost all the cases that we've successfully handled for our clients, sometimes for substantial money, they've been denied on the front end. Insurance companies will start out with a proposition that you're always at fault, you being the patron, if you fall at somebody's store or injured on somebody's land. And that's not necessarily the case. There's many complicated factors that can come into play. Our law firm has had 7-figure settlements and jury verdicts in these type cases. Sometimes we hire engineers, sometimes we hire people that are building code experts. And these are the kind of things that we can do that help a jury understand the issues better, that it's not always just about what caused that person to not see a danger. Sometimes people don't perceive the danger. And those are a very important factor. So yes, emphatically call a qualified, experienced law firm like McMahan Law Firm before you try to handle this case on your own. We handle, obviously if you're hurt, you deal with the emergency situation. You have someone, make an incident report first of all. If you're at a store, you think you're hurt, make sure it's documented. But also, yes, if there's emergency, you call a lawyer later. You take care of your medical situation first. But these are known as difficult cases, but there's a key to them because there's a body of law there. And the body of law is really fair to both sides. It's not that premises owners are being held liable for people that just come in and things happen and they shouldn't have happened and they made themselves get hurt. It's because they had a situation they let get out of control or they created a bad situation.